I'm down here on the bottom swell and haven't done an update for a long time, so let's go ahead and do an update down here on these swells. We had strong rain last night, and look at this. They are filled to the rim. Spring is practically here. It's like 70 degrees right now. We had a lot of got a lot of snow this winter. A lot of rain. Trying to see if we can see any evidence that the trees are waking up, because my other trees have. And these trees not showing any signs they're awake. First of spring. Got the muck boots on. Hopefully to avoid the ticks. These swells are holding water for about, these were full 3 weeks ago maybe. Look at the volunteer coming up right in the middle of the swell. It's persimmon, I think. I've mowed a little path right here near the berm. As you can see, the nitrogen fixers are already blooming. False indigo. I have not mowed this pasture this year, and I don't know if I'm going to. I just mowed a little bit of it so I could kind of see the berms. It rained the other night, so the swells are full almost. Well, they're going back down now, but one thing that I noticed this year is the persimmon trees that I had given up on are starting to actually come back. Maybe the first year when we planted them, the cold knocked them down. To be honest, I didn't even see them after the first. Last 2 years I haven't seen them. And now this year they are about waist tall. And these aren't volunteers, they're too regular. There's another one right there. And that's about what I did, was I put, I think I did something like false indigo, persimmon, pawpaw, which they died. And then I started over again with false indigo. Of course, they've done the best. They're more of a large bush than a tree, though, I'd say. There's a little there's a raspberry I put out here a while back. It's putting on some growth this year. But you can see the grass is taking over the berms. There's no way to combat that. This is actually a chokeberry, so maybe it went persimmon choke. False indigo. I'll have to look that up. There's a persimmon right there. And we'll get volunteer persimmons out here left and right. So that's just it's a huge food for deer. Seems like everywhere you see deer scat, persimmons will start coming up. There's a persimmon right there. I don't know why they didn't show up the past 2 years. I really don't. It's weird. Now this is something. No, it's not. That's a, I don't know what, that's a weed from last year. Now here's a blooming, a flowering blue false indigo. That's where it gets its name, I think. Lots of Monarda that we first seeded just keeps coming back. It's great for pollinators. Pollinators have not been out here so far. Very few bees, very few butterflies. It got down to the 50s again yesterday and last night. There's a persimmon. I think that persimmon came up, actually, it's inside of, take a look. That persimmon's living inside the swale, because they don't even care about wet feet. See what's down in here. Lots of tadpoles, water bugs, lots of tadpoles. Bullfrogs. Here's a elderberry. We put a lot of elderberry out here, but they didn't do that well. But elderberry does do well on this site, but not that good out here. Over toward the house, they do really well. Now here's that's a mulberry I put out here from just came up in the yard, so I moved it out here. It was doing okay, but it seemed like not loving it this year. It got real cold, and I think it got stunted. All my other ones did. Here's more elderberry. Big clump of elderberry. You can see where I mowed a little path right there. One swipe with the bush hog, maybe two. The rest of it's lawn. Huge crop of daisies this season, that's for sure. This is one of the first filberts I've seen come back. Hazelnut that I put in. When did I put this in? I may have put this in right toward the end of winter. We'll see how that does. I had put some out here before that died. Another chokeberry. Well, looks like that berm right there. This is the middle swale. That berm right there. It really, almost zero trees lived on that swale berm. I don't know why. Just only around here on this tail end of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 volunteer honey locusts up here on this top swale. Up here I've got a few nut trees that made it. There's a persimmon, blue indigo, persimmon, false blue indigo, pecan. There's one of the only pecans that has survived, and it really should be head tall by now at least. It's not. Another persimmon. Here we go. Persimmon. There's pecan right there. So persimmon, pecan. This might be a pawpaw right here. They look a lot like persimmon trees. So that'd be neat if it is. That's the only one. It's all flew in together. Persimmon. I don't know what this is. What is this? I cut it back, looks like. Or something browsed it. Oh. Is this a browsed elderberry? Could be. The middle swale right here. The bottom swale. Now, right in the end of winter, maybe in January or February, could have even been March, but I stuck some black walnut. I put in some black walnuts out here, quite a few, and I also put in some peach pits out here too. And I have noticed one of the black walnuts sprouted. If I can find it. There it is. This black walnut right there. I put that in. So there should be many of these out here. They're just kind of covered. Right over there is a milkweed blooming. That thing's coming. It's the third season.